Hello students, once again I am here with a continuation of class 10 physics chapter electricity. In the previous class we were discussing about the in-text questions of NCERT book. I am continuing with the same. Today we are going to do the questions given on page number 218. Page number 218 is the next question, and the first question is, why does the cord of an electric heater not glow while the heating element does? Why does the cord, C-O-R-D, cord means wire, the connecting wire of an electric heater does not glow while the heating element does glow? Answer is very simple. The cord of an electric heater is made up of metals like copper or aluminium, which has low resistance value and low melting point. Here the point is low resistance value of metals. Since the metals have, pure metals have low resistance, they produce less heat. So when electricity flows through such metals like copper, aluminium having less resistance, they do not convert much of this electricity into heat, so it does not glow. Whereas the heating element of almost all the heating devices are made up of alloys, and these alloys have high resistance value. Alloys with high resistance value convert much of the electricity into heat. So due to this large amount of heat produced when electricity passes through an alloy, that alloy get what is called glow. That alloy, which is called the heating element, that become red hot and it start glowing. So I conclude, the cord of an electric heating device or electric heater is made up of ordinary metals like copper or aluminium, which has low resistance value, so it does not conduct much heat. Whereas the heating element of an electric heater is made up of alloys having high resistance value, so they will convert more electricity into heat and it glows. Question number 2. Compute the heat generated, the research, while transferring 96,000 coulomb of charge in 1 hour through a potential difference of 50 watt. What are given? Q is equal to, this is question number 2, quantity of charge transferred is 96,000 coulomb. In 1 hour, time is given 1 hour, through a potential difference of 50 watt. P is equal to 50 watt. And we are asked to find out the heat generated. H is equal to question mark. Q, T, P and H. What is the relation between these four? We have to find heat generated H. And I hope all of you remember the formula. H is equal to VIT. VIT. H is equal to VIT. You can see my previous class. We have derived this formula. H is equal to VIT. But we have potential difference is given. V is given 50 volt. I is not given. But we know that I is equal to Q upon T. So this formula can be rewritten as V into Q upon T into T. So this T and T got cancelled. V into Q. V is 50. Q is 96,000. And H, the unit of heat is joule. So this is 4801111 joule. In standard form we can write it as 4.8 into 10 to the power 6 joule. So heat produced by this device will be 4.8 into 10 raised to 6 joule. I repeat once again, H is equal to VIT, I is equal to Q upon T, so T got cancel, V into Q equal to 4.8 into 10 raised to 8 joule. I hope it is clear to you. Now question number 3. Question number 3 is an electric iron of resistance 20 ohm. An electric iron of resistance 20 ohm takes a current of 5 ampere. I is equal to 5 ampere. Calculate the heat developed in 30 seconds. T is equal to 30 seconds. You are asked to find H, heat developed. Once again, another question for heat developed. H, IRTH. What is the relation? Using Joule's law of heating, H is equal to I square RT. H is equal to I square RT, Joule's law of heating, is equal to 5 square into 20 into T is 30. 5 square, 25 into 20 into 30. 25 into 250, 50 into 30, 1, 5, 0, 0, 0. Yes, joule. Or we can write 1.5 into 10 raised to 4 joule. 15,000 joule or 1.5 into 10 raised to 4 joule. Simple formula, H is equal to I square RT, that is Joule's law of heating. Correct? I am moving on to the next question in page number 220. Now page number 220. Question number 1. What determines the rate at which energy is delivered by a current? What determines the rate at which energy is delivered by a current? The rate at which energy is delivered by a current is known as electric power. This is called electric power. So it's a single word answer question, one word answer question. The rate at which energy is delivered by a current is called electric power. Question number 2. An electric motor takes 5 ampere. So question number 2. Electric motor takes 5 ampere, and we know that 5 ampere, from this you should know it is I. Electric current is measured in ampere. From a 220 volt line. So V is equal to 220 volt. Determine the power of the motor and the energy consumed in 2 hours. Time 2 hours. What are hours? Power and energy. Very simple question. You know different formulas for power, and using the given conditions we have to use the appropriate formula for each of it. Here we are asked to find P. V and I are given, so we know the formula. P is equal to VI is equal to 220 into 5. SI unit of power is watt. 220 into 5 is equal to 1100 watt. Second part of the question is energy. E is equal to P into T. Energy is equal to power into time is equal to 1100 into time is 2, but it is given in hour. No problem. In case of electrical energy, we have already studied that electrical energy is not normally measured in SI unit, but it is measured in commercial unit. Commercial unit of electricity is kilowatt hour. So we are taking the time in hour only. So 1100 into 2, the unit will be, here power is in watt. So unit will be watt hour. So 2200 watt hour. But the commercial unit of electricity is kilowatt hour. So conversion of watt hour into kilowatt hour is upon 1000. Watt and kilowatt relation, watt upon 1000 is equal to kilowatt. So upon 1000, that is 2.2 kilowatt hour. So only for electrical energy, remember, you can leave the final answer in commercial unit, that is kWh or kilowatt hour. So this is the first answer. Power is 1100 watt. Energy consumed in 2 hours is into 2.2 kilowatt hour. Now we are into the exercise questions. NCERT exercise questions. Question number 1. Question number 1 of exercise. Question is, a piece of wire of resistance R, capital R, is cut into 5 equal parts. These parts are then connected in parallel. If the equivalent resistance of this combination is R dash, then find the ratio R upon R dash. I repeat the question. If a piece of wire of resistance capital R is cut into 5 equal pieces. When a wire is cut into 5 equal pieces, what happened to its length? Each of its length will become L upon 5. So we have already studied, if only L is changing, L is directly proportional to R. So when length become L upon 5, R will also become R upon 5. So the resistance of each piece will be R upon 5. So let us take the resistance of the resistors as R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5. Since each of them are equal in length, each of their resistance will be equal to R upon 5. I think it is clear to all of you. Now they are connected in parallel. Then we are asked to find the ratio between R and R dash. And the formula for equivalent resistance when they are connected in parallel is given R dash. So what is the formula for R dash? 1 upon R dash is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 plus 1 upon R4 plus 1 upon R5. What is the value of R1, R2, R3, R4, R5? R upon 5. The resistance of each of them is R upon 5. So it will become 1 upon R upon 5. How many times? 5 times. So I am writing it into 5. This is 1 upon R dash, or it is 5 into 5 upon R. Is it? 1 into 5, 5. 5 upon R upon 5. Multiply by reciprocal 5 upon R. This is 25 upon R. This is 1 upon R dash. Therefore, R dash is equal to reciprocal R upon 25. We got R dash is equal to R upon 25. Now we have to find the ratio of R upon R dash. Therefore, R upon R dash is equal to R upon, put the value of R dash, R upon 25. R upon 25 in bracket. So R into reciprocal 25 upon R. R and R got cancelled and the answer is 25. Yes, I think the answers are given as A, B, C, D. 4 options are given. And the last option, option D is 25. So the correct answer is option D, 25. I think the solution is clear to all of you. Please look it once again. Okay. Now I am moving to question number 2. See once again and understand. Question number 2. Yes, all these questions are MCQ. First 4-5 questions. Yes, up to question number 4, it is MCQ. Options are given. It's an oral question. Which of the following term does not represent electrical power in a circuit? Which of the following does not represent electrical power? P. First one, I square R. Yes, it is true. P is equal to I square R is a formula. I square R. From where did you get I square R? From VI. Change V. V is equal to IR. So IR into I equal to I square R. B, I R square. There is no such formula for power. So option B, I R square is the right answer of this question. I R square is not any formula for power. 2 more are given, both are correct. P is equal to VI, option C, correct. P is equal to V square upon R, this is also correct. So second option, I R square is not the formula for power. So the correct answer here is option B, I R square. Question number 3. An electric bulb is rated 220 volt and 100 watt. So this is question number 3. An electric bulb is rated 220 volts. So V is equal to 220 volt and 100 watt. Watt is power. When it is operated on 110 volt, what will be the power consumed? Again, 4 options are given. I am not reading out the answers. Let us calculate it. The question is, an electric bulb is rated 220 volt and 100 watt. Means power is 100 watt. It is operated in 220 volt supply line. Question. When the same bulb is operated on another supply line with 110 volt, just half volt, what will be the power consumption? Don't think that power will also become half. Now here 220 volt, 100 watt. Question, what will be the power consumed when the voltage is 110 volt? It is not just that mathematics. When V become half, P will also become half. Now let's see how to solve this question. We are given P and V. Now the same bulb is to be used in another supply line with 110 volt. So what will remain same for this bulb? Its R will remain same. Resistance of this bulb will remain the same. Whether you use it in 220 volt or 110 volt or anywhere, R will remain the same. So let us calculate R of this bulb. There are different formula for R, but the formula which is applicable here is R is equal to yes, P is equal to, I am going to derive it, P is equal to V square upon R is one formula. P is equal to VI, changing I is equal to V upon R, you will get V square upon R. Therefore, R is equal to V square upon P. So, we are going to calculate R of this bulb. V square means 220 into 220 upon 100. 0, 0, 0, 0. So R is equal to 22 into 22 ohm. So this R of the bulb will remain same whether we are going to use it in any supply line. Now what is the new? P P. Now nu V is equal to 110 volt. Question is P. Now what is the formula for P? P is equal to V square upon R. So P is equal to V square upon R. Or nu V is 110. So 110 into 110 upon what is R? R of the bulb is 22 into 22. 22 into 22. 110 and 22 can be cancelled 5 times. Again 22 and 110 5 times. 5 into 5 25 watt. So the answer is 25 watt. So it is just not like the mathematical half. V and P are given. So using this relation we have find out R of the bulb, resistance of the bulb. So we got 22 into 22. I am not doing the multiplication because it is easy for us to cancel here. That way I did not multiply. Then V is changed. So with the new V, we are again calculating P is equal to V square upon R, and the answer is 25 watt. Got it? Yes. Next question. Two conducting wires of the same material and equal length and equal diameter. Two wires, material is same, length is same, diameter is same. So what will also remain same? R will also same. Because R depends upon these three things. Since all the three are same, R will also remain same, resistance. Two conducting wires. They are first connected in series and then connected in parallel. So first both of them are connected in series, then the same two wires are connected in parallel. Across the same potential difference, V is also same. Find the ratio of heat produced in series and parallel. Find the ratio of the heat produced in series and parallel. This is question number 4. Two pieces of wire having same resistance. So let us take it as resistance of each wire is equal to R. Let the resistance of each wire is equal to R O. Now first they are connected in series, I think. Yes. And then they are connected in parallel. And we are asked to find out the heat developed when they are connected, the ratio of the heat produced in RS and RP. That is ratio between series and parallel. So the first one is series. So let us calculate H. Let us take HS is the heat produced when they are connected in series, and HP is the heat produced when they are connected in parallel. There are many formulas for heat, but which formula can be used here? It is given they have the same resistance and they are being used in the same potential difference V. So here we are going to use the formula for H as V square upon R into T. H is equal to V square upon R into T. Okay. So HS will become V square upon RS into T. HP means V square upon RP into T. H is equal to V square upon R into T formula is used. For HS, this is RS. For HP, it is RP. So this is equal to V square into T upon RS into multiplying by reciprocal. Rp will go to numerator, V square T in the denominator, V square into T got cancelled, we got Rp upon Rs. So we got Hs upon Hp equal to Rp upon Rs. Now let us calculate Rp and Rs. Now I told you there is a direct formula for Rp if there are only two Rs. What is that? R1 into R2 upon R1 plus R2. But here R and R are same. For both the pieces of wire, resistance are same. So R into R upon R plus R, that is 2R. So R and R got cancelled and Rp is R upon 2. Now what is the formula for Rs? R1 plus R2, but here R1 and R2 are same, so R plus R equal to 2R. Now I am going to substitute these values R upon 2 and 2R here. So in place of Rp, so you have to continue from here. Okay, or you can write substituting in equation 1, Hs upon Hp equal to Rp upon Rs. In place of Rp I will write R upon 2 upon, in place of Rs I will write 2R. So this is R upon 2 into reciprocal 1 upon 2R. R and R got cancelled. Answer is 1 upon 4. So Hs upon Hp equal to 1 upon 4. This is option C. In the answers, there are 4 answers given. Option C is the correct answer, 1:4. So please see the solution. Remember all the formula, that is number 1, and see the solution. Next question, question number 5. How is a voltmeter connected in the circuit to measure the potential difference between 2 points? I told you already, an voltmeter is always connected in parallel between the 2 points across which the potential difference is to be measured. For example, if you have to find the potential difference across 2 points A and B, then the voltmeter is always to be connected in parallel between the 2 points. So the answer is simple. Voltmeter is to be connected in parallel between the 2 points, between the required 2 points. So that's all for today. We have done so many questions. Please go through it once again and practice it once again. Till then, take care. Thank you for watching the video today. Please practice. Bye bye.